Welcome back to week 5. Today we're going to talk about Google Meet. So, whenever I originally filmed in the level 1 boot camp, Google Meet had very limited features because we did not have the upgraded version. Since then, we have discontinued our Zoom lessons and we are now exclusively using Google Meet as our video conferencing software. Yay! So, there is a one itty bitty skill to master on Google Meet, but I'm just going to kind of do just a quick rundown and try to be super respectful of a time limit for that. So let's go ahead and get started. So there's a couple of different ways to generate a Google Meet. You can, of course, always go to your waffle and start a new meet. So we'll come back to this one in just a second. As a calendar invite, there is a very friendly feature right here where when you're making something, you can add a Google Meet video conference and then you can easily copy your invitation and it has all of your Google Meet information right there in the calendar invite. So that is very nice to utilize whenever you're setting up calendar invites or you want to jump on a quick call with somebody, is to just incorporate that right there into the calendar. Discard changes. Also, in Google Classroom, there is a Meet component. So every time I talk about this, I think about how useful this would have been during COVID, because I was a virtual teacher. But you can, as the teacher, you can open up this Google Meet. It only opens if the teacher is in there, and your kids don't have to go find the link in their email or dig through anything. They just come to their Google Classroom and click join, and they're in there. So super easy. Also, I don't need to forget to mention this. Let me pull my Google slide over here really quickly. In a Google Doc sheet or slide, you also can jump on a meet within that document. So I'm going to start really quickly. Since I'm the only one here, of course I'm here. And so if I'm working collaboratively with someone on this, I don't want any feedback or anything. If I'm working collaboratively with somebody on this slide deck, then we can see each other and communicate right here in a Google Meet, and we're still on the same screen as our Google slide. So stinking smart. Okay. So love that feature. I'm going to end that for everybody and throw that back over there. Okay. So let's go to, I just went to the Plain Jane Waffle Google Meet. I'm going to start a new meeting. I don't want to schedule it. I don't want to make it for later. I want to make a new one right now. Okay, so let me get my tools out of the way. All right, basics of video conferencing software. You got that. Yes, I know my mic's muted. I did do a PD if you came to that one where I talked on mute for about 10 minutes before anybody told me. So, microphone on, off, video off, on. There are some really cool little video effects for this that you can do. I'm going to click on this more options and visual effects. So, you can be in a nice, cushy office. And I would like to point out that I 100% would have taught from a spaceship whenever I was doing virtual teaching if I'd had a Google Meet, because I think that's super fun. You can also blur out your background, which I typically do, just because I have my lovely, printer right here with some Diet Cokes and my papers and computers. So I usually just blur out my background, so it's just a little of a mystery what's behind me on my desk. But that's just up to you. Also, Google Meet has embedded live captioning. So as you're speaking, your captions can be being brought up on the screen. They also can be translated. I'm going to choose this option right here to translate my captions. Oh my gosh, that's new. That used to be somewhere different, and that is so simple. If you want to translate your captions, they can be translated into a different language, not Chinese, so that for your end users, as you're speaking, it is going to translate. Now they'll have to read it, what you're saying. Super great tool that could be used for students who do not speak very good English in the classroom, and it's their first day, and they're sitting there and they have no idea what anybody's saying. You start a Google Meet somewhere like on one of your devices, and you add them on their device in a Google Meet and turn on their captions. The teacher probably needs to set all that up, but the student then can at least follow along and have an idea of what you're saying instead of sitting there listening to words that they don't have any idea what they mean. So that's super cool. Captions, A plus. We have all of our fun reactions, thumbs down, just like you normally do. Under more options, you can choose your layout. We don't have anybody in here, but you can do the tiled, spotlight, auto, all of those good things. In a Google Meet, You can also, this is where we manage the recording as well. Recording used to not be something we had. That is with the paid version. And so, a really, really great thing about Google Meet is that when you record it, after your recording kind of renders, you're going to get an email with a copy of your recording. You're going to get a Google Sheet with everyone who attended your meeting with a time they were in and a time they were out and their email address. Sign in sheet, no more needed because you can do that. You also will get a, when you go to manage your recording, you have an option to do a transcript. So it will actually transcribe everything that you've said during the meeting. Awesome. Okay. So parent meeting, here's your documentation. I'm meeting, I have a meeting and people didn't attend and I need notes for them. Here they are. Google, one-stop shop, tools for everything. I also want to talk about their presentation modes because they're really, really great. So I hope you can see this pop up. Sometimes when you're recording in Screencastify, you cannot see a pop up. So I'm going to try to describe it to you the best I can. So basically, you can present a tab, a window, or your whole screen. I utilize a single monitor, but it is split screen. So I never do whole screen because it would look crazy. But I can do window, and I'm going to just choose this window over here. And so here is where I'm managing the content for my YouTube channel, to because I'm uploading these videos as I go through. I'm going to stop presenting. Really cool. I have a slide deck over here on my other side. So I'm going to choose a tab. I'm going to choose my Google Slide. And instead of me having to say, okay, I'm looking at this screen, here's the camera, smile, where's my mouse? Oh, I need to go over here. Oh, I need to run my slide. All of these things, Google Meet has all these tools embedded for you. So now, like my end users, if you were watching this on the Google Meet with me, you wouldn't see this. But I can start the slideshow from right here. I can annotate on the screen that my end users can see. So everything can be done from your Google Meet. You don't have to try to like glance over here, figure out what's going on over there, come back over here where you look like you're disengaged from your audience. So those are really great features as well to have. Let me scoot those out of the way. There's not mirroring quite right. Presenting. Okay, so now let's talk about the people we have in our Google Meet. So I'm going to jump over to the bottom right and talk about those things. So people, click on people. I do not have anybody else in here, but you have the ability that you can mute and unmute people from here if you are the host. You can also make other people contributors to the meeting so they can share their screen as well. You have a chat where you can do those things. So share week 5 instantly. No, it knows what I want. Gosh, it's just so great, so intuitive. And then all of these, okay, we'll go to that in a minute. All these little building blocks are little activities that you can do in a Google Meet. So you can do breakout rooms like you do in a Zoom. You can do a live stream if it's connected to your YouTube. You can do quick polls of the audience and they just kind of pop up on the user's computer and they can vote. Recording is again on here and transcripts are again on here. And then last but not least, we have our host management and host controls. So you can decide when you do a Google Meet what you're going to let people do. You're doing a Google Meet with kids, they get no abilities. They can't unmute, they can't share their screen, they can't do anything. Okay. Um, you can control that. Okay. If you're doing it with adults, you may want to give them a little bit of, freedom, but maybe not a whole lot. So those host controls are going to be where you can set the abilities of what you want your people to be able to do while they're on a Google Meet with you. So that is a super quick 8-minute rundown of Google Meet. But I encourage you to try it. It really, really is a very great tool that is super accessible, super interactive, and really can, I think, enhance your experience whenever you're on a video call with somebody.